Okay. Oh, sorry. First of all, sorry for the delay. We had some technical issues. Is here? Okay. Mm, so welcome to the handover ceremony to give an opening speech during this important date for Junior Enterprises Europe. We invited MEP Christian to speak up. So let's give a welcome to him and
Thank you. Sorry for being a little late. I was already here, but there are a lot of events going on today. We just had a bureau to discuss the next multi-annual financial framework, but we still are waiting for the initial proposal. Anyway, I would like to welcome you in the European Parliament, dear guests, above all, dear members of Junior Enterprise Europe. It's an honor to welcome you here for a moment that's full of significance, the handover ceremony of Junior Enterprise Europe. Looking around this room, I don't see just students waiting to begin their journey. I see entrepreneurs already shaping Europe's future, builders, problem solvers, and leaders. Not someday, but right now. Congratulations. I was genuinely impressed to learn about your organization, Junior Enterprise, Far From Ordinary Students Group. You're translating ideas into real-world impact, delivering results, driving innovation, and redefining what student entrepreneurship can achieve. Most importantly, you're proving a vital truth. When young people are trusted with real responsibility, they don't just step up, they lead with clarity, ambition, and purpose. You're not waiting for the future, you're building it. To the outgoing executive board, thank you for your leadership, your vision, and the impact you have made. The road ahead is filled with pressing questions. How do we deliver a green and just transition? How do we harness the power of AI responsibly? How do we equip ourselves and others for the future of work? These aren't abstract policy debates, they're urgent, real-world challenges, and they demand bold, creative, forward-thinking leadership. I have no doubt that your generation is not only ready to face them, but determined to lead the way. As a board member of SME Connect, I want to be clear, we are your allies, not just today, but every step on the way. SME Connect exists to bridge the gap between policy and practice, between Brussels and the builders of Europe's future. And you are part of that bridge. You belong in this ecosystem, and I will continue to support, champion, and stand beside you on this journey. That's exactly why I was proud to help bring this event here to the European Parliament. Too often, young voices are spoken about, but not heard. Today, they changes, and your voice matters. And so I have you with 3 challenges and 1 promise. I leave you here. Think, first of all, think beyond borders. Use the diversity of your network, not just as an asset, but as your young superpower. Secondly, bridge the gaps between what's taught in classrooms and what is needed in boardrooms, between innovation and policy, between generations. And thirdly, own your space. Don't wait to be invited in, be visible, be vocal, be active at startup events, in national debates, and yes, right here in Brussels. And my promise is this, we stand beside you. As someone who believes deeply in your potential, I will continue to support, elevate, and advocate for your role in shaping Europe's future. Because of you, Europe has every reason to believe in the strength of its next generation. This handover isn't just about continuity, it's about commitment to excellence, to progress, and to a shared vision of leadership. This is both inclusive and forward-looking. I wish you every success. Thank you.
thank you so much. Before we continue with the ceremony, I would like to just take a picture, the three of us with you, and later on the next part. Lucy, could you take a picture for us? Now, continue with our handover ceremony. I would like to officially welcome all our guests, partners, the junior entrepreneurs, our colleagues throughout this year. Have a little welcoming speech prepared for you, so I will read it as the same thing as was in our handover ceremony. I get a bit emotional, and the words go out of my head. So, almost 1 year ago, we gathered here at the European Law in Parliament to welcome me and my team as the new executive board of Junior Enterprise Europe. Now we come back again to this place that carries so much meaning to Europe and to us, young entrepreneurs, and the future of this continent, to pass the torch of the history that we've built along more than 30 years in this network. So the speech that you said just now about using our connections, taking advantage of our diversity in the network, and taking the ownership, owning our space, is really what this network is about. So it's with great pleasure that we gather here today to reflect the achievements that we've had, not only through this year, but it's a construction that all the passports that have come before us, and we keep on going. We will now also celebrate the tradition that is the dedication to the growth of the European network of junior enterprises when the next team comes up to this board. Right now, I find myself overwhelmed with the emotions, gratitude, and happiness, pride, and joy to come here today, celebrate all the achievements we've made, the achievements that will come, and also to celebrate the people that are here with us today and throughout the entire year. And since we're talking about people and partners who are supporting us throughout this year, we couldn't let out a special thank you to Horst. You've been with J Europe, you've been supporting us and believing so much in this network, more than sometimes we do believe in ourselves. You see something in us that no other partner that passed this organization has seen, and we really appreciate this. So this is why this year you were also invited to be our new advisor, and we couldn't be more happier that you took this role. So as also the powered of this handover ceremony and many events that Europe has done, we would like to invite you now to say a few words.
Thank you so much. I'm really touched by these words, I have to say. This is always good to know that or get the feedback from young people. I feel me still young also, huh? Not that you're thinking this, huh? But young people say it's really a good feedback. It's valuable, but the support. Huh? And I have to say, I learned also a lot from you. This is always the good thing. We learn from each other. And I have to say, if I was intern for more than 25 years ago, I was working with Jade. You had another name before in this time, huh? Jade. I was an intern and was working together. I was not member of your organization, but this was the link where later I come back to you. And I found, oh, they are still existing. I have only a new name. And I have to say, it's great like in these times. I have to say, you approach your, like I see these people who are so much motivation to do this next to their study. This is really amazing because you can also study and do nothing. And it's in this point, I have to say, to commit to something, to an idea, to a network, for a community, I have to say, great. And we can learn a lot from you because this was really tough grills you do with your board, your new board. I have to say all the time, my goodness, is this tough what you're doing with these people? I have to say, you must be also a little bit tough, otherwise you look like you are weak here. And I have to say, thank you so much. I hope, and I'm also very grateful that you are in our network now at SME Connect, that we will work also in the future together. And like we also managed it to have a think tank together. Huh? Also, yes. You have the think tank we're supporting with the SME Intergroup. Yes. I hope this works out. Let's hope so. Yes. Yeah, I think so. That your ideas coming to the parliament, I think this is important because like you say, the young people have not such much voice here, huh? Because how to come here, it costs money, it's time you have perhaps, but money also, and also the connections. I have to say with your organization, you really have a spot because you are not the only one, but nearly the only one. And I have to say, I support you all the time, forever I'm here. And good luck for the new board and good luck for the old board, also for your future. And the network is always there. So if you need something, you can also reach out personally to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Horst. This is always nice to hear you speak. You have a way with words that none of us do. And you always get us emotional as well. Since we're talking about advisors and supporters, we have someone else that wish they could be here today to speak to all of you. It's Ivo Master. He has been also an advisor for J Europe since a long time ago, since we were Jade. So we would like him to say a few words, even if it's online. So you could see there in the screen. So Ivo, are you there? Ivo? Well, you need to.
I will send him a WhatsApp.
When we have hybrid moments, this always happens. So let's give it. Oh, Ivo, you can turn on the.
I'm here. Yes.
Oh, perfect.
Can you also see me?
No, we can't see you.
Ah. And now also not.
No.
I'm not sure, but maybe if there are the ITs. Not sure. Maybe Ivo should be beamed somehow, somewhat. All right, Ivo, we cannot see you, but we can hear you, and we have your beautiful picture here.
Yeah, I can see my picture. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Okay.
So,
thank you for inviting. I would like to share a few words. Is that okay for now?
yes, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Well, first of all, the outgoing board, thank you so much for your leadership, your entrepreneurship, your impact, and the fact that you supported so many people in your network to have their own impact. I think that's a really nice example of how you are on board to serve the network, to be a serving board. I think that's very nice, and especially in these times, extremely important for future developments and future innovations. And I would like to congratulate in a few minutes, of course, the incoming board to take it over and to try to have as much as impact as your predecessors have. And I believe you will do this. I would like to share a few things. And that's about innovation and change. And I think junior enterprises are excellent in entrepreneurship, in strategizing, and to to change the system. And I would like to give an example for this short speech. And that is an example what is not valid for all the countries in Europe, but for many countries, and that's the healthcare system. As an entrepreneur in small, medium enterprises, healthcare sounds sometimes a bit boring, but I would like to share the need for changing this in the sector, and also for the many opportunities there will be for you in this sector. Just an example, and I'm Dutch, so you heard this already, of course. But for example, in our economy, in the upcoming years, the percentage of the national income to spend to healthcare is already 11%, which is extremely high, but it will increase till 18%. It's you cannot even imagine how much money this is, and also how this is reflecting the whole economic household of a country. This is the case because we have an aging society. We're becoming older, and the demographics are also, so that the average age is also becoming higher, and which means the whole system, if nothing will happen, the whole system will collapse. And this will be for more countries with aging societies in Europe. And the problem here is as well that because of the demographics, there is not enough working power or capabilities in this whole sector to keep it going. So there are huge problems, and you see in some countries, and especially also the Netherlands, that from the Ministry of Health, all kind of initiatives are initiated to change the whole system in healthcare. Which I cannot, of course, it's only a few minutes. I cannot explain everything, but just imagine that the whole system, like the industries, is based on I would say separate companies, separate institutions, separate hospitals, from which it's very difficult to collaborate. So we are thinking kind of vertical systems and kind of columns, but there is a need to think in more horizontal systems, and not to think from the professional, from the doctor or the nurse, etc., but from a kind of, I would call it from a marketing perspective, the customer journey. The people are born and they'll die at 100 plus. What's their life, and how is the healthcare system fit to this process of getting older and getting sick, etc. Instead of that the world is around the professional and the world extremely bureaucratic. That's one thing, and there are many projects, billions projects in the healthcare system to try to change the whole system, to make it accessible, to make it more friendly, and to make it more efficient and therefore cheaper. What I would like to address for this meeting is that in the healthcare system, people think you get sick and we will treat you, and we will. I wrote it down somewhere here, and we will care. So we go from sick and care. The whole movement to save money and to make societies better is to go from health and behavior. So to help people to live more healthy and to be more happy. And that is a movement from the health to the welfare sector. In the welfare sector, there are many initiatives, or there should be even more, to make livable and resilient societies, and to have livable and resilient neighborhoods is always very close to you. Because, for example, if someone's going to the family doctor, more than 60% of the people don't have any medical problem, but they are entering the medical system. They have problems because of psychological things, or they have social problems. They are loneliness or unhappy life or whatever, and they go to the doctor because there's no neighbor to help them. So the real prevention in the healthcare is to make your neighbors and people in your neighborhood more active, and that's a kind of a domain of the social welfare sector. So the whole solution of the to get less people into the healthcare system is to keep them happy, and that's more the welfare sector, and it's the huge future. And especially on this in those places that the European Parliament you are now talking, you have your this handover ceremony. I think this also the political thing, because if we make people in the welfare sector more happy, more healthy, there less loneliness, etc., people will have also more trust in institutions. People feel more stable in their living, I would say, area where they are living with their neighbors, etc. Which means they are less vulnerable for all kind of extreme political movements, anti-democratic movement, etc. So there is not only a need for innovations in the healthcare, which is partly based on more energy and more budget for the welfare sector, but also to invest in the welfare sector will create a more stable, resilient society to face all the non-democratic or anti-democratic and extreme political insights and movements. And I think that's also for entrepreneurs like you are all a very interesting opportunity to get in those areas, because there you will have an enormous impact on people and on society. And this is what I would like to share with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ivo, for the kind words. Yeah, it's nice to see that you still believes in the impact that Junior Enterprises Europe has around Europe, and what the entrepreneurship that we are developing, each one of us represents. So thank you, and sad that you cannot be here in person, but hope to see you in the future.
Of course, of course. Thank you.
Okay, now we move on for the next part of our. Ivo, could you mute?
Yeah,
You, thank you, just because of the sound on the background.
I will check.
Now we move on to the next part of our handover ceremony, which is a ritual. As we mentioned, it is about highlighting history and the key achievements. Before we pass the torch, before we bring up the next executive board, of course, we as the going out board, we would like to talk a little bit about the achievements, what this network has accomplished throughout the year, and what has happened in Junior Enterprises Europe. So we'll do a little short summary of achievements as an annual report. Hope you enjoy. Okay, first of all, we would like to present here a few figures of our network. So this year we've accomplished 289 junior enterprises, but 380 structures. What is this difference? We have standards for the junior enterprises, but before you become a junior enterprise, you're also a junior initiative. And right now the concept is growing so much that we have so many, almost 100 junior initiatives that are joining and planning to become junior enterprise. So it's more students nowadays, they want to found a G, they want to learn, they want to take this ownership, be entrepreneurs, and be able to step up and take this challenge that it is learning new skills, hard, soft, skills, or even working together, or sometimes just going to the events, because it is fun. It's a way to meet people. It's a way to network and have some friends. So it's very nice to see that the movement has so much potential nowadays. We are composed of more than 35,000 students, which is impressive. So many like-minded students that are one step ahead and which you can share your thoughts with. People who will understand the struggles you go through trying to jump from university, sometimes part-time work, and your junior enterprise, who sometimes will call you in the middle of the night saying, we have an emergency with a project. So you have so many people who can relate to you. And this is very nice to see that you're not alone. Plus, we are delivering to companies over 5,000 projects, which is impressive. Our junior enterprises are incredible for the market. We provide companies with students that are innovative, are not afraid to be ambitious and try harder than anybody else, because most of us, we're not getting paid to do this. We're doing this because we want to learn, we want to take advantage of this opportunity, and we want to do it well. Of course, it does look very good on the CV. That could be also it. And we have an annual turnover of over 17 million across our network. And talking about network and members and junior entrepreneurs, we couldn't leave out the 16 countries we're present and the 20 members that we have in our network nowadays.
You already mentioned it. And for the ones that are here for the second time, you might realize that we are one country more. This network is growing with every year. And this year we gained Spain into the network. And we are really happy that we now have also Dawn Advisory Barcelona inside of the network. As the ones out of the network know, we have two kinds of members. We have members that are a national umbrella organization, and we have members that are a singular junior enterprise. And especially the singular junior enterprises have a really hard time because they are operating in a country that does not recognize their system. And they stand alone in a country where in other countries, a junior enterprise has other junior enterprises just in the city next to them. So all of the members that do not start with the GE and are not the BDSU JC network or uni partners, those are all singular junior enterprises that manage to keep up year after year and manage to get the turnover to stay part of the network without having the support in their country that an umbrella organization, like for example, the BDSU or GE France or JC network or GE Belgium that we have today here, are giving to the members. So those are the members that we as G Europe have to support. And that is also part of the mission here. We do not only represent the members that already have a strong confederation, but we stand also up for those that now need especially our support because they are alone in their country. Talking about new members, I already mentioned Dawn Advisory in Spain. That was actually a really big accomplishment because Spain is a super entrepreneurial country. We talked to a lot of students there, and they have so many startup hubs at their university that are also super beneficial for the junior enterprises. So we see a lot of potential there. And Dawn Advisory, we are really happy to have them back into the network now. We got also a lot of GEs that already mentioned that they would like to collaborate with Spain, which is something we really support because this international collaboration is also what we as a network foster. And then we have GIEC. And GIEC is for me personally a heart project because we support them since 2 years. We are responsible of founding new junior enterprises because we are enlarging the concept into countries that do not yet have a national umbrella organization. So we are working together with GX since 2 years, since there were only 3 people that wanted to found a junior enterprise. And that is really a concept of success because GX is the example of how students that are living in a country where the concept is not so much represented manage to build up an enterprise, get members, get people convinced, get partners, get projects, and deliver a benefit to the environment where they are working. And I'm really happy to have both of them now in the network. And next year, we hope that we grow more, especially in Spain.
All right. So, for those who were at the spring conference, you know that we had a very special guest there. We had the Commissioner Maria Luisa Albuquerque, and she is the first commissioner for to attend a Europe event since a very long time. So we were very proud to have her there. And here you can see a few words that she mentioned during the speech she had. It was, by the way, on the Europe's Day. We were celebrating the Schuman Declaration. And so she gave these words of support. Europe's competitiveness is not an abstract ambition. It is our lived experience. That is why our intention to create a stronger, more innovative Europe is rooted in enabling young people like you, like us, to grow, lead, and disrupt. And those words are particularly true for us, since the youth is where innovation starts. So that's something we hope to foster also through our network. And moving forward, with the other endorsements that we received during the autumn conference. We had the representative of the European Commission in Romania, Ramona Shiriak, and we also managed to receive the patronage both from the European Commission and the European Parliament. When it comes then to the winter conference, in the winter conference, we had the MEP Brando Benifei delivering a short speech, but also the broader support patronage of the European Parliament, and a whole session carried out by Priscilla Gatonie. She is a representative of UNESCO UNEVOC, so that was a great accomplishment that Lucia here managed to bring home. And more forward, we had the Europe Spring Conference, the last one, where already mentioned, apart from the commissioner, we also had the patronage both from the European Parliament and the European Commission. So those are the little things, also maybe a little bit more formal, but that gives recognition to the network and its events. So moving forward.
Oops, thanks, Yonis. Since you already mentioned events, our network, we have internationally 3 events hosted by Junior Enterprises Europe. We have mainly the Winter Conference and other 2 that we host and support with Junior Enterprises. So we have 2 events that change location every year, which is amazing because with these events, you can see the similarities we have in the junior enterprise movements in each country, but also the differences. Each country hosts their event in a different way. The junior enterprise organize their agenda in a different way. And something simple that I can mention, just to give you an example, is that in Portugal, they have a gala night in which I speak from my experience. So please correct me if I'm wrong. I can always say from the event I attended in Portugal, they have the gala night. You stay dressed up on one night. And in the French Congress we attended, we changed it after to go after the gala. We had the dinner, very nice, and then we changed the outfit. This is a small difference, but also schedules and workshops, all of that also counts. But here we would like to talk about the 2 events that we had throughout our year, which was a year that for the first time we had an event in Romania organized with BOSS Romania, the junior enterprise that it's alone in the country, as Zina mentioned. They don't have the support, not even from the university. So it was a great accomplishment for them to be able to host an event and to bring to Romania 200 participants, people who are there to get to know a bit of their culture, but to connect with one another in this beautiful network that we had. The event was incredible, and it was good to see how the people were integrating and creating connections that would last later on. One example is in the end of the autumn conference, we talked a little bit about the winter conference and that we have a staff recruitment coming up. And because of that, one of the participants said, I will join the staff. Or after the autumn conference, GEs got together and started talking about collaboration. And this is how the events really matter, for you to attend an event and connect with the people. For me, they're my favorite part. But also I'm the head of events, so I can be biased to that. Now for the G Spring Conference, it was hosted in Portugal. The G organizing was Young Minho Enterprise. It was in Braga, the north of Portugal, a city full of history, a city to which the commissioner attended at Europe Day. So it was incredible for us to receive that, have her. It was an honor. And in this event, our focus was the recognition of the Junior Enterprises Year. We have first the autumn conference for our integration, as is the first MEND event of the year, and then the spring conference to recognize one another and cherish what we have accomplished. It's usually the last event for most of us, and it was our last event as the board of the Europe. So it was a special and emotional moment in which we elected our board, who will soon be here receiving the organization, and it was incredible. Moving on. We would like to talk about another huge accomplishment, which was the biggest Europe event ever, the Winter Conference 2025. We had 600 participants. It was a massive event with 4 days, 96 hours of experience, 12 partners. And it was about empowering Europe from vision to reality. It's about how our network, how the students, the junior entrepreneurs, they get their ideas about how to find their own an idea for a product, and they're not afraid to pursue that idea, to go to find their companies and to talk to people who they know that are good in what they do. For example, I want to found a water bottle company, and I know Yonis is amazing at marketing. So I will go and connect with Yonis, even though he's from Italy, but I met him in an event. And this is what the Winter Conference represents to us, the connection, the integration, the development of these ideas, and how we as junior entrepreneurs can go beyond, far beyond than we imagine. And we are not afraid to do so. So for us, this also has a special place. We have an events director that works throughout a long time, throughout a whole year, organizing this event. We have an amazing team that comes from all over Europe, and I would like to thank some of them who are here today. So Yifum, Morgan, Melina, you were part of our staff. Tiana, you are also part of our staff this year. I'm really grateful for you guys and the work you put it into making this event happen. And Lucia, special to you, because you made it happen. And you know, we wouldn't have made it without you going to every event and talking to all the partners and bringing home that amazing experience. So thank you. Now, another important moment of the Europe Winter Conference is the Excellence Awards. That is about the recognition of the junior enterprise. It's about how you can showcase yourself as the best junior enterprise in a field, in a scenario, and you inspire the others. It's not about only competition. Of course, when you're talking about an award, there's always a little bit of competition. We always want to be better, but it's about recognizing that across Europe, we have so many junior enterprises that are doing such amazing projects and developing so much. So here we have the winners of this year. We had Italian junior enterprises in France and Portugal. So, Ina, would you like to present, or should I? Okay, so we have the most impactful project of 2025, which is a project that recognized the G who had an outstanding project. And this year was G-Knowledge from Portugal. They showcased an app for coaches of football to analyze the performance of their players, and that was incredible and really advanced how the football was played. So congratulations to them. As most promising junior enterprise of 2025, we had Jessup Consulting. The best part is they applied in 2024, they lost. They were not afraid of applying again in 2025. And in 2025, they won. So this award is for the junior enterprise that is working harder every day, that it's young, that it's over around 5 years, and they are pushing the boundaries to become greater and greater and developing every year so much more. Then we have the most European junior enterprise, that is Dufin Junior Consulting from France. This award is for the junior enterprise who is getting together with other junior enterprise, advancing Europe and realizing projects together and projects that bring our network closer together, which is amazing. So congratulations to them. You do an amazing job connecting Gs internationally, and this is what we want to see year after year in the junior enterprise movement. It's one of our goals. More collaboration. It's what we need. We have the most sustainable junior enterprise as Sujuni Philip. So once again, a G from Portugal won this award that is all about sustainability in every way possible. So from the SDGs, from realizing amazing projects which constitute of recycling bottles, creating machines to recycle bottles, to also going and doing social work and helping those who need us the most in our society. And then we have Junitech as the Junior Enterprise of the Year 2025. This is an award given to the G who is excellent in every way possible. They're also from Portugal and they showcase an outstanding example. So congratulations to them. Every year, different junior enterprise come and different junior enterprises win, and we want to see more diversity for the next years to come. So congratulations to all the winners, the finalists, and also to the Gs who will try again in the next year and hopefully win.
Initially, I wanted to read numbers to you, but Christian was saying something that I wanted to pick up on. He was mentioning that we need to talk about bridges and that we need to think out of the box and think out of the borders. And that is exactly what junior entrepreneurs do when they see the concept of an enterprise working, when doing their side job along the university and working in a junior enterprise. But a lot of them also tend to found their own enterprises. So when you go on the LinkedIn profiles of a lot of junior entrepreneurs, you actually see that they are marketing manager inside of their GE alongside of the financial responsible inside of their own company. And that is something that we extremely encourage, because in the end, this whole network is about fostering entrepreneurial competences. And we are really proud to say that 12% out of all junior entrepreneurs that are engaged since the beginnings of their studies inside of their junior enterprise have already founded their own company. And that is an extremely high number we are super proud to share. And even more proud, we are of the fact that more than 58% of all junior entrepreneurs would like to found their company, because that is exactly what we need in Europe. We need entrepreneurship, and that is what we are here for. Also talking about entrepreneurship, we also need to talk about challenges. This is something that we see inside of G Europe on a day-to-day basis. Whenever we want to build up a new junior enterprise, we face a lot of problems. Now talking about the Nordic countries, we have a lot of bureaucratic problems. We have a new junior enterprise in Sweden, and in the Nordics, it's super hard to even get a banking account. When you then talk about Spain, you have problems with the university where you have hard bureaucratic problems. And that is something that we need to diminish, because also from our side, we do not know the country's regulations. It's different in every European country, which is adding an additional burden to that. Talking about failure, that is, I think, for everybody also something they are scared of, but especially by also working alongside, you get the practice that you need also to accept the fact that failure is part of the process. And in the end, we always come back to the money aspect. And that is what we try to encourage more, to more get back to public funding. And we try to teach the junior enterprises. For example, we had a workshop in our winter conference where we showed on how to get onto public fundings and get support from that side. So we really support that one, because it's a big challenge for a lot of young entrepreneurs starting on.
All right. So now coming about the partnerships, the person who should be talking about it is the Vice President Tatiana, who could not be here with us today. But we have a fantastic network partnership that we managed to achieve, and it's the one with Udo. So now every junior enterprise that is interested in their services, they can receive the services from Udo completely free to improve the efficiency and productivity of the junior enterprise itself. But on a public affairs point of view, I'm more than proud to announce our collaboration with AEG Europe. We have them here today, and I'm so happy that we managed to get home this collaboration from amongst students' networks. We spent a lot of times going out and discussing and seeing what to improve. I remember one night at Wolf, it was very, very fun. Yes, so moving onward, staying on the public affairs point of view, this is the project that Horst was mentioning before. So the Junior Enterprises Policy Hub, and this is something that couldn't have happened without the support of our network itself, because through this project, we bring one representative from each country mainly, but also from each consultative member, to discuss about the themes that are important both for the European Union, for the entrepreneurs, but also for youth. Because, I mean, if we want to make a real impact, we also have to talk with the institutions. And that is one way of doing it. So this project is powered by SME Connect. So thank you again for helping us out with this. And also, we are in contact with the intergroup here at European Parliament on small and medium enterprises to give further institutional backing. So moving onward, always related to the involvement of the European institution, apart from DG Grow, with which we already cooperate with the SME Envoys network. This year we also started to cooperate again with DG EAC, so the DG for the education, through the EU stakeholders group, and also with DG Employment. Through the Europe Entrepreneurship Policy Academia. This was an event in which we went in Vienna, if I'm not wrong, yes. And yes, it was quite something. We also got lost inside the Ministry of Work, if I'm not wrong, something like that. And it was maybe the minister itself that come and told us how to get out of there. It was a labyrinth, even worse than the European Parliament. So now moving onward, Lucia, here we have one of our two directors. We have Katarina, who couldn't be here. She's the partnerships director, the events director. And then Lucia, who is the partnerships director, but I will leave the word to you.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, nice. So yes, I have to say that this was a really nice adventure to go through this year with all the executive board. So my role was to get in relation with the public affairs and private cooperation partners. So I was trying to find some companies or some entities that were working in the European market that, as you probably know, is really difficult because we don't really have a European market. And this made me realize how much the Europe is important, because it's really important to get people together before they enter into the world of work. So they get to know each other and they get to know that they can collaborate and leverage each one of the country in which we live in, connecting each other and giving to Europe a new market that is more united than ever. That, as we know, is really important in this moment. I would describe this experience as a full plate, like with a very intense flavor, a lot of different spices, because of our different characters, different cultures that sometimes were a really great barrier. But even if the combination was unusual, I have to say that the taste was amazing, and it was not just a plate, but a full experience. So I really enjoyed it, and I think that is an amazing experience. The fact that we traveled a lot also with Yonis, especially. He was my travel mate, and going around Europe to find new people to collaborate with is exactly what the European feelings and what the European identity is in. So I'm sure that the next partnership director that I want to present you, Sebastian, you can come here if you can say hi. Okay. You can stand up so everybody will know who you are. I'm really happy because it will be one of the, like a small amount of Belgian people in the events. So like around Brussels, I'm very proud of this, and I'm sure that he will do an amazing job with the rest of the team. Oh, yeah, I really want to thank all of the partners, and especially also Herbalife that is not in this slide, but Mirek is here, and they really helped us a lot with the winter conference. I have to say they were the key partners, also with the Impact House and All Branded and Eurochambers, and Hoodoo, of course, and SME Connect. But they really helped us a lot to create that big, amazing, huge conference. So I'm really proud with the collaboration that we made and what we gave to the people during these conferences, because like it was a lot, and a lot of them told me that they learned so much, and that is the best feeling.
A short thank you, or a longer thank you, also to all of the people that support behind the scenes, because you oftentimes only see the 3 or the 4 of us and Lucia being out there, but behind the scenes we have all of the managers supporting in all of the departments, and without them we wouldn't be here where we are today. So thank you for all of the managers, and thank you for the ones being here.
Now, we've talked a lot about what we achieved this year, but as you also know, this network has been existing for over 50 years, Gear Up for over 30 years. And after we finished this journey, that is the junior enterprise movement, we all move on with our lives and we accomplished amazing things. And it's by connecting with the alumni network that we have, the people that came before us, that we continue to grow. And it's they that inspire us to keep pushing. So today, we also have another online intervention of somebody who's very special to J Europe and a great supporter to us, but he couldn't be here today. He's an alumni at JADUS, more specifically, Andrea Gerosa from Think Young. And he's here online to say a few words to you. Hi, Andrea.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, wonderful. I can't see myself, but I mean, not that you miss much in case you also don't see myself.
We see. Perfect.
Okay, no, that's. I think the important is that you guys are together. I mean, first of all, apologies for not being there. As you can see from my location, I'm traveling at the moment. But I thought it was a good thing to still try to connect. I won't take too much of your time. I know you have many interventions. I've seen the agenda, and I know the most important part is that you guys spend time together and not listening to old people that tell you what was like being a member of junior enterprise 20 years ago. Because actually this year in September is when we started my mandate. So celebration of 20 years, I thought it makes sense to celebrate the 20 years. It felt like yesterday. It feels like yesterday. I'm not a big fan of giving advice to people. So each one is unique, and an advice that could suit one person wouldn't probably suit someone else. So I think it's best I just tell you a couple of things about my experience. Fast forward 20 years, I'm currently what you would define an entrepreneur. I mean, I started my first company around 15 years ago. So for 4 or 5 years after leaving the Junior Enterprise Network, today I'm involved in 4 different companies, but the main one, which takes a good 70-80% of my time, is Think Young, which I guess you probably see the logo or something next to my name. What the experience with the junior enterprise gave me is, I would say, 3 things. The first one, and it happens daily, even today, an insane group of friends that I trust, that I've been working with, that are spread all over Europe, that I've been working during university, during my time in Brussels, and still today. You know, when we do work, one of the 4 companies, actually, I started with 2 of them. I weekly speak to some of them. This morning, I spoke to a guy who was in a junior enterprise, not during my time, but after. And that's, I think, it's the biggest asset that can really give you. There are many programs the European Union tried to put together, you know, the Erasmus and all of them, which are great. But the fact that you can work with people, as we all have done, it really changes the perspective and which you engage with them and the trust you can have with them. So really make sure that the one of you who are today handing out their board position and leaving the network, well, make sure you're not really leaving the network, but make sure you keep coming back, you keep giving back to the network, but also that you keep trying to, you know, use the network for whatever endeavor you might have. And it doesn't matter at what level in life or in your professional life you are going to be now, or in 5 years or in 20 years, you can always contribute. And it's like going to the gym, no? The more you give, the more you get. And the same goes with the one who are starting now. I mean, first of all, obviously enjoy, guys. It's going to be intense. I think you heard about it, but make sure that you work hard. Make sure you also enjoy the celebration part together, the party together. That's when you build the most memorable bonds and the best memories, and that's when you build this network that's going to be useful for the rest of your life. So make really sure that you do this. So number one, really, the power of having people you've been working together. You can call it network, you can call it team building, whatever you think it makes sense to be called. Because for me, it's still valid today, and it will be valid for the rest of my life. The second thing, obviously, this is about work, and being work is about being professional and learning new things, but it's also about, you know, failure and discovering what you like and what you don't like. And I think the second part is something we sometimes forget to learn, and it's extremely important to learn it at a very young age. I remember very well what were the things that I loved about being part of a junior enterprise network, being, you know, president in 2005 and 6, but also remember very well what I didn't like. And that was useful it saved me a lot of time when I was looking for jobs right after or wanted to start my company. I knew what was my role and what could have been the role of other people in my team, because I knew exactly what I wanted to do, and I thought I was good at, and what I wanted to stay away somehow. And then I would say as a last point, this is an experience that deserve way more visibility. And I'm saying this to the people in that room who are probably or listening to this, are probably not part of a junior enterprise network, or maybe never been part of any student association at large. I joined back then because university for me was quite boring, and I didn't find it challenging, and it was, you know, the classic good old studying, and that's it. While we live in a society where sometimes you're competitive and you want to challenge, and sometimes you want to take risk, and sometimes you want to do things out of your comfort zone, and university doesn't really allow you to do that. University is a fairly safe space. It has to be a safe space. But when you're in your early 20s, it's time for you to discover things and take risk and make mistakes, and sometimes get a punch in your face. And an experience like this one are exactly that, and are transformative. They help build not just a group of European friends or worldwide friends, they help shape better people, and they help shape better professionals. And that's why I started saying, it's about being professional, being part of a junior enterprise network. And so to whoever is in that room who does not belong to a junior enterprise network, or whoever is listening to this, make sure you take a bit of time to discover more what really the life of these people is, because these are people that are going to have an extremely high impact in the rest of your life, whether in their small community or in their country or in Europe at large. So they definitely deserve way more support. From a sponsor point of view, as the American like to say, put your money where your mouth is. But any kind of support and any kind of help. So my last point is really not to the junior entrepreneurs, but to everyone else who's listening to this, make sure you take a time to understand how transformative this experience is. If you look at recruiting people, at least that's what we do at Think Young and also the other companies, we usually try to start from the non-formal education, so experience like this out of university. And this one, like any other student association in Europe today, it's really, really changing their life and shaping better human being and at the end better professionals. So if that you do it for recruiting or if you do it for, looking for partners, looking for entrepreneurs. That's as far as I wanted to go. I don't have much else to say. Again, sorry for not being there. But we have an office in I'm not based in Brussels. I'm not based in Belgium, but we do have an office in Brussels. So I'm in town once a month. All of you normally get to have my WhatsApp, my mobile number at certain point. There are some people in my team who come from the junior enterprise network. So just feel free to reach out, whatever you need. And I'm talking mainly to the one who are getting to the junior enterprise house from tomorrow, I guess. We're there, happy to help. For the one who are leaving, as I just said, I think you guys have done a fantastic experience. So if you're looking for a job, feel free to share your CV or few lines. Don't be too formal. And yeah, that's it. Just make sure you work hard, make sure you party hard. That's also important. And thank you again for taking the time to listen to me. And I hope you have a fantastic time together. And I'm sure you will.
Thank you so much, Andres. It's so nice to have you speak with us, even online. You are excused because your words were impressive and inspiring. It's so good to see how the movement, even after 20 years, everything you said really resonates with us. We keep pushing, we try to work hard, also party hard and enjoy the time. And for us going out now to the job market, I know that what we learned that we like or dislike, it is definitely helping. And thanks for the support of Think Young all the way. Well, the last support was a printer for the G House. So if we're talking about achievements, thank you so much. That was a highlight for HQ management. But thank you for the collaboration. Now, so we don't take much time of those here. We'll move on to the part you've all been waiting for, the moment you were here for. These are the final words and the handover to our next team. So, Yonis, I give the word to you.
Well, thank you again. I did not prepare a speech, but I want just to, say thank you both to the alumni network that back then gave us this opportunity to come here and have this experience, but also thank to all the people in the room. We shared a long journey, and I'm happy that we shared it together. I will not take much time. I would like to introduce to you basically the person who's receiving all of my positions plus a couple more because those weren't enough. His Boris. Boris is a wonderful person. Since the moment he stepped into the G House, I was like, okay, I want him in the next team. And he's super involved and interested in public affairs. He has wonderful knowledge, but I think I will now hand over to him, and I think later he will be able to speak up for himself.
You may take your seat here, Boris.
I put it in the words of Andrea. Being in the network is a shaping experience, and I will now, after my mandate, switch the country I'm living in, switch the studies I'm studying, and if that is not shaping, I don't know what is. And with that being said, I wish my successor to have a shaping experience in the same way. She was someone I met her not the first time in the assessment center, but already in the winter conference. And I remember a really, really remarkable talk in the bathroom we had at that time. But what stood out the most to me is how sensible you are with people. And this is what I really would like to see in my successor, which is why I'm happy that you take over. And I leave you the room to speak up for yourself, as Yoni said.
Okay, now the last words from me. As Ina mentioned, this experience shapes you. This experience is unique and teaches you so much about yourself in so many levels that I don't know how to put into words. It was a pleasure working with my team. It was a pleasure working with our one big team, which is composed by all the executive boards, international managers, and working with and for the junior entrepreneurs. We now pass on to you guys, and I wish you the best of luck. Everybody mentioned words about their successors meeting earlier and standing out. Olavo, one thing they haven't mentioned yet is, well, when we opened the recruitment, you were the first person to apply 1 day later, which is not usual for when you apply, put a recruitment up in this network. Usually on the last day, you have 50 applications, but before that, you have like 2. So you were one of those people applying. And what stood out to you is your passion. What this network needs is people that are passionate and are doing this for the right reasons. You are someone who speaks about the junior enterprise movement with so much love and so much in your heart that you deserve to be here. And you inspire all of us. You inspired me when you were in your first interview. You really showed why we were doing this for 1 year and that what we did made a difference. So right now it's your time to make a difference and your time to lead this network alongside your team. So, Olavo, I'll invite you now to take up your pin for the next president of G Europe.
Can you hear me? Okay. Dear guests, partners, and junior entrepreneurs, thank you all for joining us for this important moment. It's a pleasure to welcome to such a symbolic institution, the European Parliament. And to all those joining us online, we are glad to be here with you to mark the start of the new mandate for Junior Enterprises Europe. My name is Olaf Silva, and it is with great honor that I stand before you today as the new president of G Europe. Although I was born and raised in Portugal, I come from a family shaped by many cultures and journeys. Having parents from India and Mozambique gave me such a rich family background that taught me something essential, that identity isn't about where you're born, it's about the connections you build and the stories you carry forward. That's why, for me, being European has always felt natural. Because just like this network, Europe thrives on diversity, on people from different places and histories coming together to create something bigger than themselves. Thanks to the Junior Enterprises movement, I've seen exactly that. I've watched junior entrepreneurs challenge themselves, step into leadership positions, take their organizations to new heights, and treat their JEs not just as extracurriculars, but as real enterprises, led by people with real ambition. I've seen talent, courage, and relentless drive. But above all, I've seen growth, not just in skills, but in confidence, purpose, and lifelong friendships. Personally, I've had the chance to travel across Europe, meeting inspirational professionals, form friendships that I've never imagined, and discover a new sense of purpose, rooted in impact, collaboration, and ownership of our future. Now, we've been given the opportunity to give back to the network that gave us so much already. We have the chance to represent the over 35,000 students across 17 countries, to carry forward their voice, and to help make these same opportunities accessible to even more people, especially to those who haven't found them yet. But none of this happens alone. It happens because all of you, the passion, the commitment, and the belief of every junior entrepreneur across this continent. In a time where it's easy to feel disconnected, this is a place where we come together, not just as students, but as leaders who refuse to wait for permission, as citizens who want to shape their future, not just inherit it. So, to everyone here present, from partners to all the junior entrepreneurs across Europe, let's come together and shape the society that we want to grow up in. Thank you.
If I could meet the version of myself that was here 1 year ago, I honestly could not have imagined that I would be here, because I always thought myself capable of such things, but not by imagining that I would do it all for someone else. Ever since I joined this network, I have worked with dozens of people and met hundreds of people too. And every single person that I've met has taught me new things and has showed me in their very own and unique way how different people can interact with each other and can work with each other and can be friends and really develop deep connections, not only professional ones, but also personal ones. And from learning to teaching, from hearing to speaking, from being led to leading others, this network is incredible, and really becoming part of it is a whole roller coaster of emotions, because it is so hard to do it, but at the same time, you're always happy. It's incredible because every time that I spend working, finishing projects late at night, either alone, either with friends, either with coworkers, I've never felt like I was doing this kind of against my will. I always wanted to do it. And as I'm not sure who mentioned it, but of course we are not paid to do this, but there is something that all of us take out from this. And I've always thought of that as something so incredible. And this is precisely why I fell in love with this concept. It's because it doesn't matter if you're studying to become a chef, if you're studying architecture, if you're a more typical image of a junior entrepreneur who's studying to become an engineer or an economist, there will always be a place for you here. There will always be somewhere where you feel like you fit in, where you feel like you belong. And this is Junior Enterprises Europe. And in a world where I feel like new walls seem to be growing every day between us, I think it's so important that we represent a staircase that is here and capable of overcoming those barriers and really allowing for every higher education student to have a place where, again, they feel like they belong. And I stand before you today and I accept the spin, because being part of this network is to feel included. It is to become part of an expanding whole while at the same time you are expanding your own horizons. It is to have all the ambition in the world inside of you, but at the same time, know that you are nothing but a small gear of a much larger engine. So this is what it means to be a junior entrepreneur, and I honestly could not be happier and prouder to represent it. Thank you.
I never had so many cameras pointed at me before. Well, it's hard to follow up such amazing speeches from my colleagues. I also want to share a few words of gratitude and appreciation for this organization. And it means personally a lot to me to be speaking here in the European Parliament. And so I want to start with something personal. My parents came to Germany from Ukraine in 1995 because they saw an opportunity for a brighter future, for a better education, and for work where you actually get paid. I remember my grandparents telling me my grandpa didn't get paid at his job for multiple months, and this was something that was quite common in the post-Soviet countries. I was raised with a sense of gratitude for the doors that Germany and the European Union opens to young people. And I believe that right now, in times of uncertainty and in times of stagnation, more than ever, we rely on organizations like Junior Enterprises Europe to keep these doors open and to empower committed students of the next generation to shape the world, the Europe of tomorrow with their ideas. More than ever, we rely on the junior enterprise concept to enhance the learning of their members through practical experiences, to develop entrepreneurial skills, and to get a sense of ownership over one's work. I joined my junior enterprise almost 3 years ago, and I really instantly noticed how much of a difference it makes to be in a room with people who share a common drive, with people who have the will to create. And the fact that we have a network, a huge network of students who are willing to go the extra mile, is what inspires me, is what makes me think and hope that Europe has a bright future ahead of itself. And this is what this network has been committed to for over 30 years. And this is what me and my team will keep advancing in the next year. Thank you.
In the name of all of our team, we'd like to thank all the partners and everyone that came out here today to join us, and also everyone that watched online. We hope to connect with all of you, whether it's through partnerships or events. And now that the ceremony is coming to an end, we would like to invite you all to join us in a networking cocktail powered by SME Connect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I was shaking too.
Before was like.
Yeah, you guys gave each other hugs. Someone gave. Jonas, you didn't give me a hug. You didn't.